Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you what I'm doing as a university student, what exactly I'm studying, and a simple example of what you can do by yourself at home. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, will you actually use this? So without further introduction, let's get into the video. So how I have said, I'm a university student and this is my first year. I'm learning programming, and today I'm gonna show you a simple program on C++, how you can divide, multiply, add, and subtract two numbers, no matter they're whole or fractional. Let's start. First, I'm going to open the program in which I will write my program. I'm using Visual Studio 2019 because when I was in school, we were using it, and I like it. You can use code blocks, Xcode if you're on Mac, or even online compiler. Literally, in our case, it doesn't matter. We'll create a new project, and here will appear different options. I'm gonna use console app because it prints hello world by default and half of the things which you'll need for our program. I'm gonna name it test. It will save it in a folder which I already have created when I started my university year. There I keep all the programs which I have done up to now. This is our program. The green lines which you see are called comments. Basically, we use comments to give more explanation what our program is doing, or basically how here it says tips for getting started. They don't affect your program and we don't need them, so I'm gonna delete them. Before starting my program, I will give you some explanation. This is called a library, include EOStream. This word cout is part of the library EOStream. We use cout if we want to read data. If you want to write data, we'll use the word cin, which again is part of the library EOStream. This std cout, using with the scope operator, is basically like a space. If you don't want to write it every single time, because you have to, if you want to use cout, cin, other word called endline. Endline is if you want to have a new line in your program. I will use using namespace std. This std is the same as this one, and basically now we can remove it. It won't affect our program. So now this by default prints hello world. Let's run it. We'll start Control and F5, and our program should print hello world. Here it printed hello world. How you can see, the comments did not affect it, they did not appear in our program. Let's now start with our program. First thing to mention, this is called int main. This is the main function where you will write your code to your program. Usually we'll write it there if we don't want to use function, classes, and other more complicated things, which I might talk about in another video. So now, we want to add two numbers, but we got to know what type of numbers will be, integer or fractional. If you want to use integer number, we use int, and we have to declare a letter or a whole word, which will say what our number will be. For example, I'm gonna type the letter A and equal to 5. So now I have one number. If I want another, B equal to 9, for example. And like that, you can type how much numbers you want. I will remove the word int and I will use comma. Now I have both numbers declared as integers and I don't need to write the word int 10,000 times. Same thing is if you want a fractional number. For a fractional number, we use the word double. Also, if you want, I'll put it as a comment, you can use the word float. It's the same as double, just it depends how many numbers will you have after the point in the number. For example, double C will equal to 5.5. Something to mention is that you have to use the point operator, not the comma. Comma, we use it to separate how you can see A from B, for example. And here you have C equals 5 and a number 5 which can stay like that. So that's why we use the point. Also, important thing is to use the point and comma. If you forget them, your program will not run. So now let's add two numbers. But the question is, okay, we'll add two numbers, but where will be the result stored? We have to have a letter for the store. And for example, I'll write D, and this will be our result. And now, simply, D will be equal to A plus B. That's it, simply. And now, I will tell the computer to print me what D will be. Now we'll start the program again. And how you can see, D is 40. 5 plus 9 is 40. Very simple. Let's make it more interesting. Except to give default values to the A and B, let's make the person who will use the program to give the values. So for example, I will say like that, A, B, and D. We don't know what they are. I will type a message to the user to tell him what he has to do. Enter integer numbers. Or basically, I will tell him enter two integer numbers so he will know how exactly he has to add. And now I will use the operator cin and the right shift to enter A and B. Again, the other stays absolutely the same, nothing changes. And now let's see how our program will work. With the simplest thing, you can see enter two integer numbers. So I'm writing 3 and 4. You see it equals 7. If you want to show you the operation, we'll make it more interesting. Cout A, again, left shift. Here I will type the operator plus. Again, left shift B. I will use equal, left shift D. And that's it. And now you show you the whole operation, what is it do. So I will write 3 and 4, and it says 3 plus 4 equals 7. This is very simple, and actually you can use this program to help your kid if it's first, second grade when they're using the additions. The same thing equals if you want to divide two numbers, for example. I will take the division. I will copy absolutely the same thing and paste it. If you're a programmer, you have to learn to be lazy, because you can see how simple it is to change two operators instead to write the whole thing again, because who has time for this? Running the program again. I will write the same two numbers. Okay, this time you won't be alright 4 and 2 because the division will be equal. See, 4 plus 2 is 6 and 4 to 2 is equal to, but now it looks like 64, doesn't it? Let's make something about this. So to make it don't look like 64 and 6 and 4, I will write left shift end line. The word end line will give you a new line. Now when you start a program and we add the same numbers, I will write 4 and 2. Now it looks better, right? Is the 6, and on the new line it's new operation. Same thing equals of whole numbers. I'm gonna copy this again. I'll take this because it has the end line, and I will do it for the other operations here. again because it's more easy. So now we have the division. Here I'll type, sorry, I will type my end line again. There we go. So now we have here, for example, I add the multiplication and a left subtraction. Yeah, sometimes I don't know what I'm typing. This is it. Now I'm gonna use the same numbers, 4 and 2, and here 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 divided 2 is 2, 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and 4 minus 2 is 2. It works correctly, right? Now let's test the same thing, but with double numbers, or to say fractional numbers. So I will use C, E, and F. I will copy the whole thing, just we will change the name of the letters. And I will, here won't be integer, here will be two double numbers. The operations will be the same. It won't be A and B, will be C and E. Every single D, I'm gonna replace it with an F. There is a method in which you can replace given word with a whole new one, or it could be letter, how it's in our case, but I'm not gonna use it because if I try to replace every single D with an F, you replace these D's, which are here, and this is not what we want now. So here will be C and E. It will take some time, but it's worth it, trust me. It's a bit long, sorry. But for now, for beginners, this is how we use it. You will take, and you will know what, instead of typing it every single time, because this is so tiring, I'm gonna get one line which is ready, and I'll paste it again, again, and again, because this is way more easy. Now we do the subtraction here, we do the multiplication, and division. Also, don't forget to change them at the top as well. And now our program should be working. Before we do it, something I forget to mention, you always have to type return 0. This is the type of value which you return, basically 0, because we don't need anything else. Now let's run the program again and see will it work with our numbers. Now again, first with the integer numbers, which will be 4 and 2, and now two double numbers. I'll use 5.5 and 1.1. And now you can see our results. But to make it more interesting, I will add a new line here, out, another end line, just to separate this message from the last equation which we had here, just to look better. Sometimes you gotta pay attention to these things because the person who is reading your code gotta know what is going on, what is happening. And if you have it, these simple things actually will make it better. And you see now our numbers 4 and 2, our other numbers 5.5 and 1.1. See, it looks better. It's only a new line here, but it looks better, right? So this is our program how you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide two numbers. It's actually pretty simple, but really it can help for beginners. This is what I have been started and all my other classmates at university. Basically, to be honest, we have started with Hello World and explaining us all the things which I have explained to you up to now, as using namespace, std, the int main, and basically it was taking 1-2 hours for a week to explain us these things before we actually start calling and do programs. So yeah, this is the program which is pretty easy, pretty simple. If you want, you can add end lines here also, but I don't think that it's necessary. But to make it better, I will do it. So you can separate the message from the numbers which you will enter. Basically, it won't change much, except that here you have to enter on the new line. 4 and 2, and 5.5 and 1.1. These are our numbers. It works perfectly if you won't calculate it, but I think everybody knows that 2 and 4 makes 6, and 2 divided 2 is 2. I mean, everybody can learn math. But this is really helpful, and I hope that you will use it. In the future, if you decide to work this, study it, you will learn way more complicated things. So I hope that this was very helpful for you. And like, share, and subscribe if you want more videos like this. If you have interested, comment down below. I will make another tutorial. We'll do another programs together. I will teach you other operators as if operator, do while, and other cycles, and everything necessary. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!